Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is March 30th, 2025, and this is my weekly trade review where I'm reviewing the S&P 500 trade, an iron Condor trade, 20 delta, point 0.2 delta, 10 wide on 0-day options. This is all for educational purposes only because, as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading. So please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. This is one of those weeks where I had a hard time actually trying to get this out here because it was a terrible week. But I say I got to do it. I didn't go broke, but I came close to it. Let me edit this. Start of day, end of day. End of day. Yeah, this was a rough week. I don't know. Seemed like I took some kind of stupid pill, dumb pill, and all, and just started going crazy all week long. Seemed like all week long. Wow, I haven't had one of those weeks in years. Don't know what it was. Don't know what happened, but it happened. That's why you do these things virtual. And it was a week, where it was a lot of days I probably should have took off because I did have an appointment and stuff. I had some other things going on where I needed to. I wasn't as focused as I needed to be in order to do this trade and do it correctly. And correctly, it's just getting up on time and placing the trade and getting out of the trade whenever you see it's going wrong. I usually like trying to keep my loss to about $1 or $2 max when I do have my losses and then I can trying to make $1 or $2 back. I can do that fairly easy that day. And if it starts getting more than $2, it starts getting a little bit more difficult, especially when I'm trying to use this product to do it. So that's that. So now that's giving you a heads up of what I've done and how I went about doing things this week and what made things so bad and all. But let's start off right away. Monday. I'm putting the day on here to just kind of remind myself what days these are, although I kind of know. I was in that trade on Monday. I was in that trade okay. I put that iron Condor on, but it went against me right away and for a loss. And I did probably get out. I think I did get out of this trade, kind of early, and I did fight back to make some money back, and I ended up almost a little bit over $10,000 up for the day, $11,000 up for the day. We just rounded off at that, so it wasn't too bad that day. But the market was already giving me signs. It kind of surprised me anyway on Monday, popping up like it did, and all. I wasn't kind of really expecting that, but I got out of it and I played it okay that day. But then now let's go down to Tuesday. You can see the numbers where I got in and with a high placed iron Condor. Let's go to Tuesday. Tuesday. First of all, Tuesday I always have a hard time getting up in time. I work late. I work late, and I usually try to get up around 9 o'clock and or earlier, around 8 o'clock at the earliest, and get a workout in, get a bike ride in, or something like that before I get in front of the computer. But I didn't do that on Tuesday. And I got up late. So usually if I get up late and I'm not able to get into my trade before 9:40 at the latest. I like 9:30 at the latest. 9:35 at the latest, and I didn't do that. So I still ended up just looking at the market and putting the put side on only. So first of all, I broke one of my rules. I didn't do the iron Condor, and 57.50 and 57.40. So this trade ended up being okay, but I started doing other things. I started doing other directional trades, other vertical trades, and I just wasn't really in tune and okay with the market and all. So I ended up that day losing over $100,000. Don't know what happened. I'll show you the account statements and stuff. I did some crazy stuff is what I did. That's what happened, and I don't know why, because I really wasn't focused. I was actually talking to somebody else about trading and stuff, and this was just a virtual thing, And the other thing is, I don't have that much. I have maybe 2 positions on in my live accounts. That's it. That's it, because of what's going on in the market. So I just went crazy in the virtual account. That's what we see here and all. Come Wednesday. Again, Wednesday I had an appointment. A morning appointment. That morning I knew, and I was able to kind of like look at the market right quick. And I was late doing that too, because again I had an appointment. I really wasn't planning on it. It's supposed to have been a no trade day, but I ended up placing a trade anyway. Is what I did, and then I couldn't sit around and watch it because I had an appointment. So that trade that I ended up placing that day went against me also. I think I was doing the put side only, and as you can see, the market dropped. And I think I might have, while I was in the office waiting, I ended up trying to roll it, not really able to see everything, and I rolled it down to an area where I even lost more money, is what I did. And the other thing that I did too, this day, I ended up throwing 200 contracts out there. So again, I doubled up. I lost and I doubled up on that loss, almost like 3 times. And that's where I ended up, cut the account almost in half in one day. Again, you put rules in place in order to protect yourself from this. And that's the whole thing. This is kind of scary to me. In my live stuff, I don't trade at all. Right now I'm not trading at all anyway. Like I said, I got 2 positions on. One of them I got a call. I had a call on, sold a call on one of the positions, and it ended up going up, and I ended up rolling that call out. So I'm okay with that, because you can always, bullish trader, you can always find a bull out there somewhere, and I happen to find a bull out there that I'm trading, and it's doing okay. But in this virtual account, for some reason, I don't know, I just went crazy, start doing stupid stuff. And so this day ended up going against me, going on down, and I ended up with some of this maximum loss on these couple of positions, and it ended up almost blowing the account. And I thought at the end of that day, because I was even watching this at work, thinking this thing may come back up above here and get me something, but it never did. So that's what happened, and that's why that 11 o'clock time frame is the time that you need to be out of that trade. But that was around, again, I couldn't look at my phone at that time and see what was going on, because I had the appointment. So that's why no trade day. You broke the rule, and you end up paying. So now Thursday, the next day, Thursday, I kind of went, after I had the losses and all, but I thought I had blew up the account. I looked at it, okay, yeah, you knocked this thing down pretty good. You was almost above $500,000 and all on this account, and now you back down below $200,000. So you lost over $300,000 in a couple of days, in a few days. This is another. This is what happened. So back to my basic. I'm a long trader, scalp trader, and I can scalp using calls. And I made about a little over $20,000 of it back. A little, not quite $20,000. And 17,000 of it back, in that one day. And I said I was okay with that. I just did that to kind of calm myself down doing this particular trade. And I did it with SPX options and 0-day options. I still did it with that. And I think I did a couple of trades within this little run here, run to the upside, up to pivot. And this is one of my all-day trades. You see any Morningstar and confirmation in that trade. I have pivot is my ultimate target, and it just happened to go there. I see this all the time. The other thing was, this is the opening line. Once I got above the opening line, and I see confirmation above opening line, this is what I call my H1. So that's another target. This is where I would have been selling, that spread. I think I just sold this line and this line, So again, I've been seeing this thing go to these lines, not all the time here in this volatile market. So that was that. And then again, I had another target of the pivot up here. So that day ended up making some money back and I was okay, and I just quit. And that's the other thing, when I am trading options long like that, I only like doing 2 or 3 trades a day. And that's it. Because after that, my head gets fat. I think I got this thing. I think I can do anything, and then I start losing money. So I got another rule where you only do 2 or 3 trades a day. Even virtual now, I ain't got that where in my virtual trading, that's what I have to do. Because again, I will work with people and I show them, if you try trading all day, you're going to get tired mentally. it's not a physical thing. It's a whole mental thing. And again, where you're going to get to a point where you think you can't make mistakes and you think you can just scalp. When you're scalping the market, you can just scalp anything. Again, if you're not seasoned enough to know when, you know, your setup is not there. Your indicators are not telling you that, and you got to get where you're really focused on your indicators and what you're doing. If you're taking multiple, you're trading all day long, and you're kind of scalping the market, an intraday type trader. For me, and that's what I see. Even I see it with other traders. They get where you find out you find out that your best move is usually in the morning, sometime before 11 o'clock. And that's why this whole other trade that I'm doing, this SPX trade, before I kind of agree. Before 11 o'clock, this thing it's decided where it's going to go, and if it's going to continue going, it can. But if it's not, it's going to drop back down here and go sideways. Or it can drop all the way back down and drop really crazy on you. It made this one direction, and then it can make another direction, and it can make another direction. But this time is the time to actually be out. And it was a good day. That was not a bad day. Then Friday, I was at the point where I was almost thinking about taking the day off because I had such a bad week, and I started just doing my directional trades to see, that's not the plan. The plan is to do the iron condors. The thing is, I'm seeing the iron condors in this volatile market right now. Maybe I need to give myself some more room on these trades because what's killing me with this trade is volatility. It was expanding. Number one, going higher. So that means all your option prices are going higher, calls and puts and all. Now you sold it at a price that was, you didn't receive enough credit in the beginning on that trade. Now volatility expanding on you and direction is not working for you. And you do have theta that should be working for you, but with those two other things expanding on you, theta is not, even in one day, you're not getting enough to theta decay if that option that you sold is not out of the money. Just like on this particular day, it would have worked, no problem. It ended up staying above the line where I had sold at, even on the put side. So on this day, I did do the iron condor, but I got out of it early. The thing is, I set it, just set it right away, because I say I don't care if this thing does whatever it's going to do, and at 10 o'clock the market always does something crazy with the option prices, and at 10 o'clock it ended up getting me out. But in the end, this thing would have worked out anyway. I might have not have got out of this trade until 12 o'clock or later in order to get the credit the credit that I got was small, and I was kind of okay with that. Because I also, from one of the guys was commenting earlier when I first started doing this, all you need to make is $5,000 a day. That's 50 cents a day. 60 cents a day. Say 60 cents a day to help cover commissions and all. I say, yeah, it should be all right. But I had quoted a number. I had put out a number that I expected to make more, and I had been making more on this trade because I kind of had seen it and had done something similar to this, and I know you can get pretty good. You can get a pretty good credit, and you can close it at a pretty low debit. And trying to just get that 25% on it, I was based on the data that I had seen. I said, yeah, you can do that. And at times when market looks good, maybe I could squeeze a little bit more out of it. That whole greed thing pops into anybody and everybody's head and all. So that was the whole thing in the back of my mind about this thing. But then this day here, I'd say, okay, I'm moving it out, and all if I can get just that, again, I got over $1 on it, $1.10, and it caused it a crazy move in the market. But I had it set to just get like 70 cents. I was going to close this thing for like $1 or $1.10 or something like that to get to 60 cents. And then it gave me this crazy feel, which I'm okay with. But, and again, I started the day, at this number, and ended the day at this number. So it ended up giving me like $11,000 for the day, which I'm okay with. I will be going back to the iron condor, but I'm thinking about coming up with a rule. Should I be actually selling at a 0.1 delta or 10 delta instead of a 20 delta? And the other thing that somebody else had asked out there about this trade, should you actually be, when the market is dropping as crazy as it's dropping right now, and you get these days when the market is dropping like this, can you buy these things? Because again, if buying these things early with a low credit like this, I'm pretty sure as this thing was dropping, this thing probably doubled in price before it actually got down to the 60-some cents probably later in the day. and all. That's the other thing that happens with these trades. And the thing is, with volatility being high, even this late in the day, you still might only be back at around a break even on this trade. That's one of the things I don't get to look at these things this late in the day usually. And this Friday I didn't look at it because what did we ended up going riding? And I had some other things to do around the house because of a party going on the weekend. And also a lot of other things were going on, so I didn't get to really look at the market. But I can see that it stayed above there, and it would have closed that, as a good trade. So I am okay with that. And right now, let's go ahead and I'll let you go ahead and take a quick look at the numbers in the account. Let's switch over to that screen where you can kind of see crazy what I did. And let me see if I can do this. Close that. Open. Let me switch. Where's my switch screen thingy? Here it is. Share. Select item to share. And I got to move this out of the way. But I got to move a couple things out of the way. And there we go. Now share. Continue. All right. Where did they go? I hope you're seeing. I can say hope. I hope. Yep. It looked like it. Yep. Seeing it's down there. And I moved that out of the way now. It probably wasn't showing up. It wasn't showing up. I can see. But as you can see here, here's the day on the 24th. And again, look at up here. I'm looking 7 days back. Where's this thing going to show me? Right here. Look how many trades. I know it was one trade I didn't get out of at all. Again, like I said, I had some maximum losses here. It was just one of those days. I didn't really. This is the week that I should have took off. And come next week, I want to get where I review that whole first quarter. This past week was the worst week. As we can see, from 500,000 down to almost 200,000 to a little bit below 200,000, almost 500,000 down below 200,000. Definitely was the worst week. We got to see. I got to see. I understand what was so bad. I shouldn't have been trading at all this past week. I had too much going on, and all. So now, if that ever happens again, I know I have to do like what I usually do. I go for that bike ride. I go work out. I don't even get in front of the computer. I go straight to the gym. Don't get in front of the computer. If somebody, I stay at home instead of come to the office. If somebody want to talk about the market and stuff, I can just bring my laptop up at home, and we can talk about it there. Because I do not like trading on my laptop. I don't have the additional screens and stuff that I can see. As we can see, sometimes that doesn't really help. But I don't have it at all. So I won't trade. I'll look at things and I'll close things. That's if things are really bad, I can still get into accounts and close stuff if needed. That's the way I play it. That's the way I play it on my phone also. If I want to use my phone, I can use my phone to close stuff. I don't use my phone to actually open anything. But let's take a quick look at these trades. Again, going off a little bit on other things. On the 24th, I see what I was getting at, 34, 35 trades. It's just way too many trades for the week. You should, it's 5 days? It should be only like 5, 6 trades, five trades. I think that's what it should be. 5 trades or 10 trades if they count both sides. Trade in, trade out each day, 2 trades a day. That's all it should be, and just way too many. So first day, 24th, as you can see, I did put the iron Condor on, but things went crazy. Next day on the 25th, I went totally crazy. Way too many trades. A lot of directional stuff was going on. Some verticals, a lot of single stuff. The 26th, let's take a quick look here and see what was happening on the 26th. On the 26th here is, I think that was the appointment day where I actually it was the date on the 25th is the day that I ended up doing that 200 contract thing or whatever. I did something crazy, and that probably was that was a directional trade where I just got too big and stuff. And here's the vertical where I did 200. I got too big and ended up causing a lot of problems and stuff. And that might have ended up being one of my maximum losses where I did close that. I closed part of it and I didn't close the whole thing. So that's how, again, I made a mistake trading more than what I normally was trading, and then probably only closed half of it is what happened there. From what that might be that, and that doesn't even, I'm not sure. Again, everything went so crazy, and I just know I don't do that again. 26, crazy stuff. I started doing directional trades with 50 contracts. 27th, I was doing directional trades again with 50 contracts. And again, I'm getting back down to what's normal. Again, back to my basics. I'd rather do like a 50 contracts, 50 contracts, 50 contracts like that, and instead of doing even the 100 contracts, 100 contracts, 100 contracts like what I've been doing here. But I'm gonna stick with the 100 because that's the way I know. I think it'll be a lot easier for me to get to that million that I'm gonna get to by the end of the year, and that's why I know to the end of the year. It's just that now I've had the big slap in the face, the big bat up against the head, the slap up in the back of the head to wake myself up to realize, okay, if you're going to do this, you need to do a little bit better than what you've been doing, what you did this past week. Then Friday, like I said, I did do the iron condor. I got back and I ended up doing, this is actually a 10 wide iron condor that I did end up doing. Like I said, I got $1.70 credit and was able to, it actually closed for 60 cents and I recorded it just like that. And that's pretty much it. The other thing that we should look at right quick before I shut this down, I know I got a little winded because it was a bad week. It was a crazy week. And if I'm going to do it and I want to show it, just show it all. Let's go back over to the chart right quick. And on the chart, the other thing that we should take a look at is the VIX. This is what happened. The VIX was on Monday. The VIX was dropping. Remember that was a good day. And then Tuesday things, these transition days are the crazy days. That Tuesday thing started going crazy. Then the VIX started going up. That started getting things even worse. And then it settled down a little bit on Thursday. Then Friday was okay. I ended up, just throwing my deltas out a little bit more and only giving myself a little bit more room to be right. Because with these trades, you need room to be right. You want to be far enough out of the money, and you need that theta decay actually helping you. And again, you prefer the VIX to already be up and coming down. On this particular day, as I said, that trade might not have been good until like around the end of the day with the VIX being down and going up. So it's a lot of little things that I'm looking at and thinking about with this trade and how I'm going to handle it here with this VIX, maybe back on its way back up to this 29.30 or higher. So I got to be mindful of what I'm doing with this whole trading strategy, and maybe I'm finding out I need to look in. Is there certain days that maybe I should try buying this, but I'm gonna have to get where I look at the big picture and make sure I have enough time to look at the big picture. That was one of the big problems this week. I was in front of the computer late. Again, I'm just trying to just go out there and just throw the trade on just based on .2 delta. 10 wide and throw it on and not actually viewing what's happening in the market overall. If the market is overall is in a free fall, being even 0.1 wide, being 0.1 delta, it's not going to be enough. So that's that, and that's all I really want to share. Hope I didn't get too winded on this, but it was just one of those weeks where it was rough. But I'm sure I'll bring it back. I've done it before. It's not a big deal, and it's virtual. It's all about training myself and being able to see this stuff and be able to see this stuff and learn to make adjustments and find out what's really going to work for me. And I hope this is being helpful to others where you can see this is why you do this stuff. If this had happened in a real account, man, this would have been crazy. And then trying to blow you and knock your account back down to half just up. This is the point where when it happens you end up pulling all your money out, which I've done. you still almost, you started off with 100,000 and you still just under where doubling the account and stuff, and you just pull your money out and you don't trade. Been there, done that. And that's happened before. So again, it's just one of these things that you may go through and you need to be aware how you're going to react and what you should be doing at that time. But that's it. This is Right Side Trader. Hope this is being helpful, and I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.